Right, let's get more now on that breaking news. The government has sanctioned Roman Abramovich.
Perhaps the world's most famous Russian oligarch, Roman Abramovich, has just been sanctioned by the British government, and it may throw a wrench in his plans to sell the soccer team Chelsea Football Club. The billionaire bought the team back in 2003 in a $184 million deal and fueled the club financially to trophy after trophy, making it one of the world's most dominant soccer teams. But under mounting political pressure amid Russia's invasion of Ukraine,
surely Mr. Abramovich should no longer be able to own a football club in this country.
The British government froze Abramovich's assets. So how did Abramovich make his billions in the first place? His story is the making of an oligarch. Roman Abramovich was born in the Russian city of Saratov. Both of his parents died when he was young, leaving him an orphan. As a young man, he briefly served in the Soviet army and then studied at the Gubkin Institute of Oil and Gas in Moscow for college before trading commodities for a Swiss firm and eventually befriending oil magnate Boris Berezovsky.
The man shaking Yeltsin's hand, Boris Berezovsky, the Russian billionaire many believe is the true puppet master of the Kremlin. One Russian newspaper this week proclaimed Berezovsky as the man who is the real president of Russia.
Berezovsky was close to former Russian President Boris Yeltsin, and when the Soviet Union dissolved and embraced capitalism, Yeltsin sold previously state-owned companies to well-connected businessmen, often for a fraction of their actual worth. This created a super-wealthy ruling class, or oligarchs. Through Berezovsky, Abramovich was able to get in on a deal to buy a major stake of Siberian oil company Sibneft for only $100 million in the mid-1990s, according to Forbes. Sibneft recorded $3 billion in oil revenues in the year 2000. And when Berezovsky fell out with the newly elected president, Vladimir Putin, in the early 2000s, Abramovich stayed in Putin's good graces. Berezovsky was pressured into selling his shares of Sibneft to Abramovich, cementing his billionaire status. Today, not much is known definitively about the relationship between Roman Abramovich and Vladimir Putin. Abramovich became governor of Chukotka in 2001, an oil-rich region in northeastern Siberia. And while his foray into politics led him to spend more time with Putin, the extent of their relationship has been kept from the public. Imprisoned opposition leader Alexei Navalny described Putin and Abramovich's relationship in a recent Twitter thread, saying Abramovich, quote, privatized Sibneft for $100 million, and then writing, quote, in 2005, he and Putin made the deal of a century. The state, represented by Gazprom, bought Sibneft back from Abramovich, but this time for $13.1 billion. Genius, right? That is, they simply took out $13 billion from our pockets. We've reached out to Chelsea Football Club for a statement responding to Navalny's tweet and have yet to hear back. Today, Abramovich's net worth is valued at $12.3 billion by Forbes, and his fleet of yachts is world famous.
Russian tycoon Roman Abramovich owns the world's biggest yacht, nearly 2 football fields in length, loaded with its own missile defense system and lasers to prevent the paparazzi from taking photos.
Before the British government froze his assets, Abramovich released a statement where he announced plans to sell his soccer team and promised that the proceeds of that sale would go toward a foundation to help victims of the war in Ukraine. But with his British assets now frozen, including the world-famous Chelsea Football Club and his multi-million-dollar London home, his net worth is expected to take a tumble.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.